Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I will now call this meeting to order. May we have, thank you. May we have a moment of silence, please? Thank you. Please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next on the agenda is adoption of the agenda.
Madam Pro Tem, I have a request to remove item from the agenda, item 7A, under new business for the consideration of a donation from Manteo Preservation Trust.
7A.
Make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented by the town manager.
I'll second.
Is there any more changes? A motion has been made. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? Unanimous. It passes. Okay, next we have the consent agenda.
Consent agenda, there's no changes recommended from myself or the town staff.
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Unanimous. It passes. Next on the agenda is the presentation and reports. I turn to meeting number 2, Town Interim Manager Brinkley.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm going to call on Josh O'Brien to recognize 2 employees, please. Yeah, and Mike.
I think I can do this. Hello?
There you go.
All right, Cameron coming up here. Forgive me if I read something I prepared this late in the day. I don't trust my mind to get everything right, and I want to make sure I do. I'm honored to be able to administer Cameron Morris's 5-year service award tonight. So far in his water and sewer career, Cameron has obtained his Grade 1 collection certification for the sewer system, with many more to come. Current roles outside his normal utilities maintenance worker 1 duties include pipe fabricator, primary radio read water meter technician, which entails programming new meters and radio transmitters and drive-by meter reading. Next up in Cameron's career progression will be passing the C distribution exam for water, obtaining a B commercial driver's license, eligible for promotion to the utility maintenance worker 2 position. Cameron is punctual, always showing up to work early, a hard worker, and a pleasure to work with. Never once have I heard Cameron complain about anything during work assignment, and that is saying something. So let me read the plaque. Forgive me, my hands are shaking a little bit tonight. In deep appreciation and heartfelt thanks for 5 years of dedicated and loyal service to the town of Manteo, this first day of October 2025, Mayor Pro Tem Betty Selby, Commissioner Eddie Mann, Commissioner Todd Glasold, Commissioner Ruth Stetson, Commissioner Hannah Forsland, and Commissioner Michael Bass-Knight.
Come on. Come on, Zaya.
Yeah.
Come on.
right, next up, Johnny Lee, come on up. See if my hands don't shake as much. All right, we're recognizing 15 years of service for Johnny Lee. So far in his water and sewer career, Johnny has obtained there's a few of these, grade 1 collection certification, his B distribution certification, cross connection control, grade 1 biological, and a B commercial driver's license. Currently, there's a maintenance worker 2 position. Johnny's primary job responsibilities include pump station inspections for all 11 sewer lift stations, 811 locates, heavy equipment operator, and vac truck operator. Next up in Johnny's career progression include finishing his wastewater treatment plant shift training to rotate in the plant on-call rotation in order to be able to be eligible for promotion to the hybrid utilities maintenance worker 2/plant operator training position. Johnny is cool under pressure, mechanically proficient, brings a wealth of knowledge of the town's underground infrastructure, and is not afraid to contribute ideas in regard to our ever-evolving preventive and reactive maintenance practices. I can say with authority that it takes a certain type of personality that we even entertain the idea of working in sewer, let alone doing so for 15 years. Congratulations.
Madam Pro Tem, could I say a word or two?
Yes, absolutely.
So Cameron, I had the privilege of having Cameron work for me for quite a few years. And he showed up for work, it's always good. So I know he's a dedicated worker. Johnique, same thing. I've known John, he hadn't worked for me. But Johnique and I have known each other. Tonight we just said we can't believe it's 15 years. And both guys are wonderful, and I think the town is blessed and happy and lucky to have both of you guys helping out. So thank you guys so much.
Anybody else? Have anything, comment? Todd covered. It's a pleasure to have that longevity with the town of Manteo and up and running. Thank you. Kevin?
Yes, ma'am. Next, we have a video presentation and then presentation of a proclamation to the Fearing family for the historic preservation of the Herbert and Ann Creef House.
In the heart of Roanoke Island lies the town of Manteo, a place where history lives in every corner. From the architecture to the stories that shaped it, Manteo is a town proud of its past and committed to preserving it. Standing proudly on Budley Street is the Herbert and Ann Creef House, a newly listed property on the National Register of Historic Places. Built in the early 20th century, this home is a testament to Manteo's architectural legacy and the craftsmanship of local hands. The restoration of the Creef House was made possible through the vision and dedication of the Fearing family, who undertook the task of preserving the property's original character while preparing it for a new chapter.
This particular property and project is special because as a child, I grew up here with Timmy Creef, which was the oldest of 3 children of H.A. Creef, whose father and mother, the builders of the property. So when this property became available, it was a great excitement within our family to have the opportunity to work on this property, bring life back into the property.
Where Malcolm was able to experience the house, the inside and the outside as a child, I wasn't. But all of my lifetime, it's been pretty much closed up. So I've always just really wondered what it looked like inside.
We saw an opportunity to make this property come back to life. And there wasn't a, hey, this would make a great such and such business. This would be a great office. This would be a great restaurant. It was a, what do we have to do to breathe life back into a historic property in Manteo and continue to see Manteo's star rise.
Much of what makes the Kreef House special is its architectural detail and the skilled local craftsmen who brought it back to life. Every board, trim, and porch post carries the story of Manteo's unique coastal charm.
The story about this project is the craftsmen and the people that worked prior on the property and that did the work for us. Lee Tugwell, which is former mayor of the town of Manteo, his father was a trim carpenter on the property, and the other is our town commissioner, Ruth Stetson. Her grandfather was the builder of this in the 40s. We had to take some of the things that were on the building off to get it back to the 1940 era in which the property was built, and that was on the porches. The porches had chalice windows and had hurricane coverings. Were not original to the building. Warren Meekins was one of the craftsmen that did the side porch and some of the fence work and arbors. The grandchild of Mr. Kreef, Liz Ann Meekins Kreef, gave us a photograph of what this porch looked like. And from that photograph, Warren was able to put it back that was sufficient to be approved by the National Historic Registry. And the next, what we had to do is the windows. It took a crew of 5, and the crew leader on that was Antonio Tellez. They worked for 5 months, taking every piece of glass out, and there were over 300 pieces of glass that they took out. They had to sand the windows down to the original metal, prime it twice, and paint it twice after they put the glazing and the windows back in it. Terry Casper was our local welder who rebuilt the windows. On the inside of the building, one of the unique things and fun things that we did is the kitchen cabinets. To keep them in the original shape, we got a crew that were boat builders. They painted for the boat building industry. And those guys laid on their backs and turned upside down for a month or more. If you look on the handicap ramp we have now, Troy Manning out of Williamston replicated the rails on the front of the building, and that was quite a task. So all throughout the project, we had special people that did the work.
I worked with Dan Pizzoni, who was able to help us get on the National Register in a timely manner because we did a collaborative approach, where he is the master of all of the words and makes architecture look beautiful in writing. I was able to come take pictures of the property as we're going along. I was also able to interview and do local history with the family. You know, all of my life growing up, I was always told that it was a Frank Lloyd Wright house. In our research, we were able to find that it was Alfred Lublin. His architecture work is what was able to actually get us on the registry.
Preservation efforts like these are supported and amplified by the Manteo Preservation Trust, a local nonprofit organization dedicated to protecting the architectural and cultural heritage of the town.
We are an organization that promotes the public's understanding of the architecture, the culture, and the heritage of our island. Most important things about preservation is that it creates a sense of place, that sense of the cultural continuity that is so evident here on Roanoke Island. And I think that's one of the things that makes Roanoke Island so incredibly appealing. People come here and they have that sense of history. That part of historic preservation tells our story. We preserve that in our structures, like the Herbert and Ann Kreef House, but you also preserve that in the understanding of the people who were in those houses, who built those houses. One of the things that I think is so important about these preservation projects that are happening all over town is the historical integrity of our town, the sense of home and place here.
As more families, businesses, and visitors connect with Manteo's story, each preserved building becomes a chapter in our shared future, a future rooted in the past. From the skilled hands that built them to the passionate hearts that preserve them, Manteo's historic buildings are part of what makes this town a place to belong. Join us in celebrating the past while shaping tomorrow.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Ms. Jamie read the proclamation.
proclamation.
Woody. Thank you. Okay, proclamation, appreciation to the Fearing family for the historic preservation of the Herbert and Ann Creef House. Whereas it is important to celebrate the role of history in our lives and the contributions made by dedicated individuals in helping to preserve the tangible aspects of community and the special places that have shaped us as a people and promote a sense of place and identity. And whereas historic preservation is an effective tool for revitalizing neighborhoods, fostering local pride, maintaining community character, and increasing community optimism. And whereas the mission of the North Carolina State Historic Preservation Office is to help people identify, protect, and enhance North Carolina's historic resources and communities for today and future generations. And whereas the Ferry family has shown dedication and perseverance by preserving a significant part of Manteo's history through the restoration of the Herbert and Ann Creef House, which included hours of research and steadfast determination to bring this property back to its 1940s charm. And whereas the State of North Carolina Department of Natural and Cultural Resources Office of Archives and History entered the Herbert and Ann Creef House in the National Registry of Historic Places on April 11, 2025. And whereas this historic preservation project showcased the local talent of our community through construction, building materials, landscaping, and architecture, which enhance our community and continues to make Manteo a unique place to live, work, and enjoy life. Now, therefore, I, Betty Selby, Mayor Pro Tem of the Town of Manteo, the Board of Commissioners, the Preservation Architectural Review Committee, and the Main Street Advisory Board do hereby take great pleasure in presenting this proclamation to the Fearing family in appreciation of their efforts to preserve the Herbert and Ann Creef House, and urge all citizens to commend them, take great pride in their achievement, and let this serve as an example for all. Adopted this first day of October 2025. Oh, Jesus. I hate Halloween. Okay. I will now present this to the patriarch, Mr. Malcolm Fearing.
Mr. Fearing, would you like to offer a couple words? You've never been one not to talk, so.
Daniel, you gonna put a light on it? Yeah, I do want to say something too, okay? And I reckon I need to say it a few. One, thank you. This project has not only been an immediate family project, it's been a community family project. And in a small community such as we have, it looks different than most communities because we get to see each other. We know each other, we fuss at one another, but we also love on one another. The excitement to me about the project has always been the learning of the families of the past that did the work, that stood the test of time, that allowed it, because of their craftsmanship, to become what it is today, recognized as a national historic treasure. Preservation is something I never understood. And your mama tells me I'm a preservationist. I never thought of it that way. I thought I just fix things. I work on things and with my family. And I'm not the matriarch. I have her here, and that's my mama, who has had more than one 30th birthday. And she came out tonight to be with us, and there she is.
Have her stand.
Okay, Mom, can you stand? Of course you can. She hadn't had her scotch yet. There have been what our family talks about, and sometimes, Courtney, we don't talk all about our family history, but maybe you know more about it than I do, but they kind of keep it from us. But we've had, that I know of, 6 generations of business-type people in the community working. Tonight, we have 5 generations represented here tonight because I have my mother, my 3 daughters, my grandchildren, and one of my son-in-laws here. So again, I would like a privilege of coming back at some point in time and recording in the record the people who worked on the property, because that's really the story, the ones of the past and the ones who have recently spent, I think it was about 2 years, developing that property. And so in 100 years, if the property is still standing and somebody wants to go and research who did what, it's recorded. It might be a little bit easier for them to recognize the names of who did that. To the town, its staff, from building inspections to the planning boards to the park or the pretty committee, the Board of Commissioners. It was an absolute collaboration of community, and for that we're most grateful. Only thing I can say is, Ashley, I'd like some hair and makeup on that. I didn't know how daggone old I looked. But this is a big part of the town, is preserving, when possible, these older structures. And thank you all for your leadership in this role. And thank you for this recognition.
And Malcolm, did you also let them know that you have a patent pending on that root system around the
That is a historic tree root protection system that oddly enough there wasn't a permit for. You have wide angle wings. This is my youngest, number 7. I can't remember their names.
It's all about the nicknames.
Everybody watched Jordy, but everybody say cheese. Very nice. All right, are there any members from the Main Street Board or Park that want to get there with them? No. They appreciate you too. I know, right? No, I say not for you. All right, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Keith is my new employee of the year. He came in.
I'd like to say something before the Fearing family leaves. I had the pleasure of growing up alongside Allison and Catherine, who I had a lot of respect for. They were very classy and were kind to everyone in school, which was really saying something in high school. You know, it can be an interesting place. And I've had the pleasure of having some of his grandkids in the youth program, and they are very interesting. And Malcolm, it has been such a wonderful journey to get into this role and see you in a professional light, where I knew you just as, Malcolm alongside RV, and what Pop said about your dad and how they knew each other and that you were a good builder and things like that. Not much about you, but when I got to know you in this role and began to hear what motivated you and what inspired you, and hear that you had a real heart for making the place that you live really beautiful for your kids and your grandkids, I saw a softness in you that I thought was so interesting around your family. And now, because you have 3 girls, it makes a lot of sense. But you just have so much respect for all of us that live here and making this place beautiful for us. And it's been a real pleasure. And so I also want to say, Miss Liv, you are such a pillar in our community. My father talks so highly of you, and my Nana too. And so it's nice to see that you guys have upheld that generational respect. But I will charge the young folks in your family, while you have your patriarch, ask him why he does what he does. Ask him the hardest questions you can think of, and ask him to show you the things that mean the most to him about this area, the things he loves, and to tell you all the stories about every little nook and cranny, every side street, sidewalk, or disputed road, and learn from him, because he may inspire you and you may pick up his charge and follow along, as the girls already are. So thank you guys for what you do, and for inspiring an entire multi-generational positive effect on our community. I wish we had 100 Fearing families, Martins, Northrops, all combined.
The beauty comes from Susan. I put duct tape on it.
Look, I know it comes from Susan.
Susan, thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Susan.
Mayor Pro Tem, next we will be moving on to the Main Street Impact Report and Initiatives Update from Ms. Ashley.
All right. Good evening. Tough act to follow, certainly. I appreciate the opportunity to share a brief update on the Manteo Main Street program and this year's impact report. For the benefit of the audience, my name is Ashley Wiest, and I serve as the Director of Community and Economic Development here at the Town of Manteo, and in my role, I oversee Manteo's Main Street program. I would like to take a moment to recognize members of the Main Street Advisory Board that are in attendance this evening. We have Chair Tanya Lamo, Vice Chair Deborah Johnson, Yvonne Farmer, and Dave Stemple. I commend all of their hard work and dedication that they put into the program. So as you know, Manteo is part of the North Carolina Main Street program, which is both a privilege and a responsibility. Being a designated community connects us with resources, training, and statewide visibility, while also holding us accountable for strengthening our downtown through economic development, design, promotion, and organization. It's a recognition that our downtown is a place that we make intentional investments in our community. While I'm not going to read the whole report to you this evening, I would like to highlight a few accomplishments from the past year. So we have rolled out the implementation of the new Meet Me in Manteo branding, which included the launch of our new website and social media channels. These tools have given us a consistent, recognizable identity that helps us to market the downtown more effectively. 3 of our local businesses, Bound Vine, Downtown Books, and Poodles and Bob, have received the North Carolina Destination Business designation through the Main to Main Trail program, which elevates them as destinations in their own right and draws visitors into downtown. This also sets up our community for the next phase, which includes free photography and videography services that will be used both locally and by the state to promote our downtown. So looking ahead, we are very excited about several current initiatives. A team, including myself, Chair Lamo, Vice Chair Johnson, and volunteer Amy Underwood, recently attended a training for a new storytelling program with Phil Ike, which will help us to share the history, culture, and character of Manteo in meaningful ways. I would like to publicly thank Nisi Morris for agreeing to be our first interview and sharing her story. If you have not read it yet, I encourage you to visit our social media channels, and I hope that it inspires you like it inspired me. So thank you, Nisi. I know she's not here right now. We're also building themed itineraries for the website, which make it easier for visitors to plan their experiences downtown and to create new ways for the community to connect with our downtown events. And lastly, as the town moves forward with its new strategic plan, we will begin a major update of our economic development implementation plan that will align with that vision. All of this work strengthens our ability to support local businesses, attract new investment, and enhance quality of life in Manteo. We are very grateful for your continued support and look forward to working together to keep our downtown thriving. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem, if you allow, I'll go into the manager's report. It's just very, very brief, but this past weekend there was a regatta that was held here in Manteo. I asked Barry about it, and he sent me some information, but it was called the Star 45 National Championship Regatta. It was held on Saturday and Sunday. The Star 45 is just one of the many types of model yachts. The weather, it was held in the basin between the lighthouse and the shed. The weather was rainy, but it was windy, and the participants said the venue was perfect for their regatta. There were sailors from North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, and Georgia. We already have interest from another group out of Maryland to come back in the fall, and most of the people that attended this regatta, participated in it, had never been to Manteo before. So it was nice to attract. It wasn't a big crowd, but it was nice that they chose Manteo to have their regatta. Sponsorships for New Year's Eve, we have received a total of $5,500 in sponsorship funds. Miss Ashley has been beating the streets, beating the grounds, I think we've described it as, seeking sponsorship. So I think with the limited time that she's been working on this, I think it's an accomplishment to be where we're at. And I know we've had Commissioner Clissold that's helped us a great deal as well, trying to spread the word. The Devon Street sewer replacement, I told you that has gone out to bid. We did not have anyone that attended the pre-bid meeting. However, that was not mandatory. Any bids that we receive will be opened on October the 8th at 2 p.m. We've already talked, Josh and I, who I think he's left, he's gone, but have talked to our engineers about possibly, if we don't get any bids, combining this with the John Borden water sewer project that will make it maybe more attractive for someone to bid in it, because Devon Street's kind of a smaller project. So they're already working on some price estimates for that and working forward, if we don't get bids, how we can go ahead and accomplish that. Cartwright Park, it seems to be that this is one of the first things I looked at when I started here, and we were waiting for conceptual drawings back from the engineer or the architects. And Jamie and I had a virtual meeting on the 25th of this month with Albemarle Associates and CLH design staff. And they have told us 3 weeks from September 25th, that we should have our conceptual drawings in hand. So we're excited about that, and just know that Jamie and I are just as anxious as you guys are to get this project started, because it's going to be incredible. Looking at the drawings, it's going to be so nice for that area. You know that the Mayor Pro Tem brought up a traffic safety issue on Sir Walter Raleigh Street. So the radar trailer has been set out there for several weeks. Last week, I asked Chief Allert to download the data so that I could present it for you here tonight. Unfortunately, it was discovered that the data was not stored, so the necessary adjustments were made, and it began recording on September 28th through today at approximately 3 p.m. Just during that time, to show you how busy that road is, 3,200 vehicles were recorded. And that's going both directions, so it's capturing both. The 85th percentile of speed was 26 miles per hour. And in speed studies, this 85th percentile is the speed at or below what 85% of the drivers are driving. So that's kind of looked at as setting speed limits. And of course, that speed is 26. And that is commonly used in traffic studies and to set speed limits. So I had no idea the street was that busy. But,
And we got a park out there.
And you got a park.
2 playgrounds.
So I know that the officers, according to Chief Allert, have worked radar over there. The last time I asked the chief, there had not been any citations that you maybe a warning or something, but I know that they'll continue to monitor that area, but I did want to give you an update. And Mayor Pro Tem, that's my manager's report.
Okay.
Well, that's impressive with the number of folks on that street. And it's nice to see that they're somewhat abiding, 86 percentile with the speed limit, but it also talks about, that's a bit of a testament to, with that kind of increase from my childhood to now, that roundabout. That's pretty impressive to carry that kind of volume in both directions like that. That's
It's
good
nice to have
information
that data.
Data, gotta love the data.
I didn't have any idea it'd be that much traffic. And Mayor Pro Tem, if you will, I will move on to public comment.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll move on to public comment. Members of the public are invited to address the Board of Commissioners on any topic. Public comment is not intended to require the board to answer any impromptu questions or take any action on items brought up during this period. Speakers will address all the comments to the board as a whole and not one individual. Discussions between speakers and members of the audience will not be allowed. Time limits are 3 minutes per person or 5 minutes per group. please come forward to the lectern and identify yourself so your statements can be recorded. If we have somebody here.
Randy Fenninger, Sir Walter Raleigh Street. And thank you for talking about the traffic on Sir Walter Raleigh Street, because that's really why I'm here, not to complain about the ditch behind my house. I'm sure you're happy for that. But we've had no floods for a while. As you know, Halloween is a big deal in Manteo. We live right in the middle of Sir Walter Raleigh Street, so we see probably, based on candy count, 1,500 to 1,800 children. We won't give to adults. So don't bother, don't try. Come down the street. I think there's some twofer kids who probably are going home or going to their cars who hit us up again. But my point is, it's very, very busy with small children, families, people who are, because it's Halloween and because they're kids, dashing across the street from one house to another, one house to another. As you know, the sidewalks will not handle a crowd of 5, much less a crowd of 1,500 or more. My request to the board is to close the street on Halloween evening, perhaps from 4:30 or 5 to 7:30 or 8 o'clock. It seems to be the peak period, at least coming by our house and getting candy. I know that sounds difficult, but I used to live in Vienna, Virginia, where they closed the state highway for the Halloween parade and activity. So if they could get away with that and not get shot by all the unhappy commuters who were coming through, and since I was a commuter, I knew about that. I think we ought to be able to find a way to encourage cars not to be in the area where children are. I'm frankly surprised that people try to even drive with that many kids around, but we do see cars. We've been fortunate in not seeing anybody injured. I've seen quite a few small ones grabbed by a parent to pull them back out of the way of a vehicle. So I would simply close by saying it's a great day or a great evening. I don't have children young enough to want to do that anymore, but they are bringing my grandchildren down to join the parade this year, or parade, it's not the mob. And so I would ask that you consider closing the road for a period of time. There are other roads, and I have 30 seconds left. Thank you very much. I can still read that far, that's good. But thank you for that, and I hope it will be something that can be achieved working with the police department and town leadership. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Would you like to come up next? Madam Pro Tem, I see no one else for public comments. We'll close that if we will.
We will now move to new business.
Yes, ma'am. We have the consideration of appointment to the Dare Housing Foundation. I think I did this in a weekly update that I sent you out on Friday, but the Dare County Housing Task Force is transitioning to a nonprofit housing foundation. The proposed composition of the Dare Housing Foundation includes representatives from each of the towns. The draft bylaws provide for these appointments to be elected officials, which is preferred, town staff, or a community member with experience or knowledge that will be beneficial to the Dare Housing Foundation. Dare Housing Foundation has requested, or the Housing Task Force has requested, that each town discuss participation in the Housing Foundation at their October meetings and vote on their representative for their board. So I would, Mayor Pro Tem, I'd ask that you would open up for nominations to see who would like to serve on this board.
Do we have any nominations that would like to serve on the Housing Foundation Board? I'll make a motion. Can I make a motion? Can I do that? That Michael Bass-Knight will serve as the liaison and a representative from the town of Manteo.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You have it, Michael.
Add that to your list.
Thank you.
And Mayor Pro Tem, I see that we've got Ms. Donna Creef here. Was there anything else that you required or anything you would like to say?
No, sir, I did not. Thank you for agreeing to participate. We're going to put you on.
Thank you, Ms. Creef. The next item for consideration is the acceptance of bid for the new town hall interior demolition project. The town of Manteo issued a request for proposal for new town hall interior demolition. The scope of work includes removal of several walls, electrical systems, plumbing systems, communication systems, and asbestos. The County of Manteo received 4 bids for the asbestos removal and demolition from Eastern Environmental for $74,600. Jones and Smith Contractors for $45,480, and Waters Contracting for $78,040, and Pinam Construction for $59,850. The lowest bid received was from Jones and Smith Contractors for the amount of $45,480. I'm asking the board to allow me to execute or negotiate a general services agreement with Jones and Smith Contractors.
And I just want to say out loud, the procurement laws in North Carolina require us to take the lowest bid, correct?
It does.
Just want to say that out loud. The procurement laws in North Carolina require us to accept the lowest bid. Like, should we accept a bid, it must be the one that is the lowest. Because people ask how these things get selected. So I just want to be very transparent about that.
And as I stated in my town manager update to you, Mr. Carl Woody has looked into the company, verified the general contractor's license and the other information that was submitted, that it is valid. A search online of the company did not reveal anything alarming. Was there anything else on that, Attorney Gallup?
I was just going to expand that it's the lowest responsible bidder. So responsive means they responded to the bid. Responsible means that they're, as Mr. Brinkley just explained, that they seem to be in good standing, and then you go with the lowest. You can end up with the lowest not being selected, but it's rare.
But it's rare. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Well, and I think that
Kevin,
go ahead. I was going to say our town staff has done a lot of the work, some of the hardest work with some of the removal already.
Yeah, Frankie's crews.
Amazing.
They've gone in there, and I thought I put that in my update to you guys, but gone in there, have done an amazing job. They took all the safety deposit boxes out, and that's just, it sounds pretty simple. Todd and I were, Commissioner Clissold and I were in there, and that was no easy task, but they tackled it and got it done in less than a day.
How much did we end up getting for all that?
Well, we put it on Gov Deals as we're required to do, and didn't get any, surprisingly, didn't get anybody that wanted some old safety deposit boxes.
Scrap metal.
With like we do with other material, it was all loaded into trailers and taken to Wanshis for scrap, and I think it was just shy of $900, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, well, that's more than I thought.
Sending it to the dump.
That's right, yeah.
Has Jones and Smith, do they have some sort of timetable that they have to have it completed?
There's, in the contract there is, and I cannot tell you what that is.
Okay, but there is a time.
Substantial completion and then full completion.
Okay, thank you.
So do we need I think we need a motion for that, if y'all will.
So moved.
Second.
Aye. Thank you for getting that done, Kevin.
Yes, sir.
And staff, thank you guys.
During our workshop on September 23rd, the board reviewed 2 new job descriptions. One was the Deputy Town Manager, Planning Director, and the other was reclassifying the Finance Director as the Finance Director, HR Director. I sent it out with your update about to review the pay plan with the recommended changes that are in red. With creating a grade 25 for the Deputy Town Manager, Planning Director position, the hiring rates were determined by adding 5% to the grade 24 positions, which is common throughout the pay plan. I do want to say that I'm asking for approval of the pay plan. I'm not asking for funding for the Deputy Town Manager, Planning Director. There are no funds budgeted at this time for that position. For the Finance and HR Director, there are currently funds available that will fund that, so you'll have no financial impact to the town in regards to that.
Okay.
Any questions or concerns in regards to that? And again, the reason for doing the position based off my experience here is you need somebody to help handle the projects of this. Yeah. And a deputy town manager could do that. Mm-hmm. We need somebody that can help in the planning role as well. I know I've talked to you about the part-time position that we're going to get started very soon, but whenever that is funded, it will benefit the town greatly.
I think so.
Because as I think it was Commissioner Forsland that asked that the grant application be a separate item that was listed there, not combined with another duty, which was done.
Yes.
That's good.
So that's my presentation to you on the pay plan.
Good.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye. Signify by
Aye.
opposed, ayes have carried the motion. The motion passes. Mr. Brinkley.
Yes, ma'am. The next item is a budget amendment that adds revenues for sponsorships and corresponding expenditures in the community and economic development budget. And this is we've only received 5,500 in donations so far, but we're including 10,000, hoping that we reach that goal.
Okay.
So that's up for a vote if I can get approval for that budget amendment, please.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
And then as, old business, I'll continue to, Ms. Jamie has continued to put this on our agenda, the town manager search. I sent you some information concerning two people involved in local government that had offered their services. And I think at our workshop, it was mentioned that talking about advertising for the position internally first. We have a salary range, because this is only recommended by Heather and I. It's not, y'all set the salary for the town manager, but it can be recommended of a salary range of between $150,000 and $195,000, with a potential hiring range for your manager at $164 to $175. But again, that is strictly a recommendation and can be set. You don't have to adopt anything with that. You can interview your potential candidates and set the salary as you wish.
Yeah, didn't do anything on that.
I agree with that. Frankly, that's, the manager is completely within your realm of authority as a board on how you want to do it.
And that salary, not to keep it hidden, it's public record, but as far as what you hire them at, him or her at, that's totally your discretion.
But have we established a range?
Well,
Not yet.
what I recommended, again, was the range of 150,000 to 195,000, with a potential, depending on the qualifications of your candidate, of 164 to 175. And again, just
Based on
recommend.
region and area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And do I have
A
some?
motion on the floor?
And Mayor Pro Tem, I don't know if we need a motion for that, because it's not part of the pay plan.
Okay.
Mr. Yalek, am I correct on that, or?
What's your next, are you planning on putting that on the advertisement for, so is the next step, because I didn't come to the workshop meeting, so is the next step that you're going to advertise and you're going to put that on the advertisement and?
There was agreement at the workshop to do an internal advertisement for the position.
Okay.
So I guess maybe consensus to do the hiring range that I recommended. Are y'all okay with that?
Yeah, I have no problem with that. And that's
I don't have any problem. That's consistent with areas, regions, towns.
Yes.
And the Albemarle region, so, I mean, we should not be an outlier there.
Well, Heather spent some time, we both did, looking at this. We just didn't, just so y'all know, we just didn't pull numbers out of the air, so.
So we don't need a motion then. It's the
I think
consensus
he's
of the
gonna
board, yeah.
go forward with the internal advertisement with that being the range, and ultimately you will get to select what you pay at the time that you appoint somebody, and they'll get to either agree to accept that or not.
Okay.
Good for that.
And I believe it was my understanding that I'd written down that your internal application, request for applications would be for 2 weeks. Was I correct on that?
Yes.
Commissioner Mann?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we're moving to mayor and commissioners' comments. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first and just be quick. Thank you for raising funds for the events. That is really great, and I'm really grateful to all of the people that donated money, and I hope that we will be able to formally thank them in some way for anybody that donates to any of the town functions. That's such a blessing in this time where we're really, as you can see, taking on some new salaries. I'm really grateful for all the work that everybody's been doing to help us in this and all the advice that many of you actually sitting here have been giving us on this town manager hunt, what to look for. And so I just want to thank you for being involved and just being advisors. We need that. We really do. We can't operate this government without you. So that's all I have.
Anna?
Thank you. I echo a lot of what Ruth just said. What a wonderful community we have here. We're also coming into my favorite season. And thank you, Randy, for bringing to the floor the fact that downtown Manteo is so very loved and beloved by our townspeople and citizens for Halloween. One of my joys is handing out candy to the 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 children that come through, and it's better than getting it, in my opinion. My kids prefer to hand it out. I'd like to take your request a step further and say maybe we could close off more than just Sir Walter Raleigh Street. Maybe we could do a bubble around downtown Manteo. We have so many kids, and last year I saw some physicality between people who were, trying to get their kids away from cars and other things. No one got hurt. One person did get hit in the back of the head, though, so maybe we can, just keep an eye out. But a bubble around downtown would be really wonderful in terms of pedestrian-only traffic.
Oh, and sorry to jump back in, but Hannah had written a note on my sheet here about that. And my question was, can we do that? And if we can't, could we develop a volunteer system with reflective vests on each street? How could we improve safety?
Okay.
Halloween's also a Friday night this year, so I have a feeling it's going to be even more jam-packed than normal.
I was Beetlejuice for my last Halloween.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Michael?
I just, relevant to that topic, if it's such that because we're trying to encourage folks to come into town and get some of those early parking spaces, when would you do blocks, barricades? And then the second question that Commissioner Mann and I were discussing is there potential for some of the exaggerated speed bumps? Maybe, do we have those on inventory? Is that something along with, if we aren't closing streets, is that something that might be, in addition to the vested individuals helping keep everyone safe? That's really the most important thing. On my comments, I just wanted to say how proud I am to be a part of this town. The folks here are so cool, so loving, so kind to each other, but so giving of their time, also of the town, the assets that we have. And I saw it again today, and I won't call the person out, but there were just someone I walked out of the theater and they were giving someone some guidance on what to do about the town and just the way that they approached them. And they didn't have to take time out of their day. It was awesome. I mean, they were so proud to share the town. What do you like to do? Where would you like to go? And it's just that kind of communicative thing within our town that really makes Manteo special. And so to see all the efforts that are being placed to try to continue that for the next generations, it's amazing. I did want to say congratulations to the award winners, Mr. Lee and Janique. That's no small task, and I certainly know how much we all appreciate them and their efforts, and what, having experienced it for many years growing up, is not always the most pleasant job. From the Fearing family component, I wanted to give a shout out to Malcolm. I don't know what kind of heart they're talking about you've got, but I know you. What I was really taken by is not only just the preservation component, but it was the family piece. Man, is that cool to watch and to see, and to me that's probably one of the most attractive things to the project, and everyone had a hand, and so congratulations on that. As I go into my last comments here, thank you for the faith in the Housing Task Force. I won't let you down. But as it pertains to public comment, thank you, Mr. Feniger. I appreciate the time to stand up and express an opinion. And I'll finish with Mr. Brinkley. I wanted to say thank you. Your report, just like everything else that you've been doing the past couple of months, extremely meticulous, definitely a proven leader. And I know you love this town too. You grew up here, but I couldn't have been more pleased with some of just the quick results you've been getting for all of our requests, which are varied. And the way you present yourself in these meetings is exemplary. So thank you very much for what you're doing for us.
Thank you, sir.
Malcolm, I think this is the most good publicity you've ever gotten at a meeting, so I'm proud of you. But I really want to thank, it was nice to see Ms. Liv out here today. I love seeing her. I know you're the face of the operation, but I know that the brains of the operation is Miss Susan, Margaret, Catherine, and Allison. So I know they've left already, but I really appreciate all the work they've done. I appreciate you because you put your money where your mouth is on your projects. You don't just say things, you actually do them. So I appreciate that about you. Mr. Randy, you did bring up a good point. I don't know if Upwalk East is the correct thing to shut down all the side streets downtown, but that's the only complaint I've heard about Halloween is some of the traffic was an issue last year. So that's a valid point. And I appreciate everybody coming out today. Good group. Thank you.
And if I may comment just one, I will have a report back to you immediately on that, on what we can do, what we can offer to minimize conflicts and to increase safety.
All right, as always, thank you guys for coming out and participating in this government. It takes you guys and your opinions and everything else to make this town be as special as it is. John Eek and Cameron, I've already spoken about those guys. They're fantastic. They're good people just to chat with in the morning when I see them. And Malcolm, of course, we're proud of what you did, but I'm proud of what it's going to be too. I think everybody's excited that another eatery's coming to town, and we're all rooting for Vicky and hope it happens sooner than later. Kevin, again, thank you for all your work, and the rest of the staff, thank you guys. So that's all my comments, Madam.
Okay, thank you. I also thank you for coming, spending your evening with us. It's a pleasure to have you. My comments on the Halloween thing, is it possible that we could run like the go-kart service again? Would that help? No?
Personally, what I personally see is there's just such an influx of people into town, so I don't know if the golf carts help move people so much. I mean, I don't see the movement as inhibited. It's more the traffic of the cars coming through.
Yeah.
A lot of little babies.
That's something I think we should consider. Also, I wanted to tell y'all that I attended the regatta Sunday evening. It was quite interesting. Well, I did. I tried to, but they wouldn't let me. Miss Benson, no, she saw me try it. But it was, when I talked to, I stayed out there probably about an hour and a half because I was just amazed that I never seen it before, and everybody with their little remote controls, with their little sailboats. But when I talked to a couple of the wives that was in a do not disturb men corner, so I joined them. They talked about how they enjoyed it, and they didn't go to the beach to eat. She said most of them stayed here in town and ate. One thing they did, they ate at Daryl's, they ate at Poor Richard's, and they ate at Hungry Pelican. And to me, that was a testimony for the town of Manteo that they ate here. They didn't think to go across the bridge. Mm-hmm. And they were certainly excited to meet me as being the town official. So I encourage y'all next year to visit. You know, they were impressed that I was there, and I must say that. And they will definitely be back next year. Not they coming back by themselves. One lady said, I'm gonna bring my grandchildren. So they will be bringing their families because they enjoyed the hospitality that we gave them. The last thing on my comments is and this is probably a question, just wanting to make sure that we keep Gina's request about the streets. I don't know if we have addressed that, but we want to keep that in mind. That's anything else?
We should thank Angel for the book.
Yes.
A part of me
Thank
is
you.
thinking, am I allowed to accept this? You know, because I don't even let anybody buy me coffee. So are we allowed to accept this gift? Probably not. Well, then we're gonna have to re-gift it.
I'm going to assume so for now, but I'll look. to
Okay,
make
because
sure.
I wanted to thank publicly, but I'm like,
Maybe you can borrow it to read it and give it back. But no,
a forever loan, like
my expectation
my
is that
library
you
books.
can accept it as long as she's not a contractor for the town.
Oh, okay, thank you. All right.
Ms. Corey just asked that I wouldn't leave it for you guys because she wanted to sign it personally. She didn't want to be here. She just asked that I leave it for you, and I certainly don't think there's any, she's not a contractor.
Well, we need to thank her then for this incredible gift.
Gifts are more complicated than they seem, but my general recollection is the problem is if it's a contractor.
Okay.
If I was giving you a gift, you would have a problem.
Okay.
So don't expect
I don't
any
expect any gifts. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
I
Thank you
consider
so
it
much, Angel.
homework. I
Homework.
consider it homework, getting
Yes.
to know your town. I mean, it's
Yeah, she
definitely
does.
homework.
And the cover is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Love it.
Okay. Is a motion to adjourn until November the 5th meeting?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Y'all enjoy your day. Thank you.